Welcome to another episode of the Pacers Pride podcast. I'm your host, Cody Emerson. Alongside me, as always, my good friend Dylan Deanhart. Dylan, saw you into the Purdue game yesterday.
Yes.
How'd that go?
Thankfully, it went well. After losing to Rutgers a couple weeks ago, I was hoping this wasn't another trap game, though it shouldn't have been. But yeah, it was a good game. We won comfortably 29-10. We covered the spread. It's always a nice,
The betting man.
But Purdue got their first win in November since Danny Hope era, which was 2 coaches ago, or we last won in 2012.
Oh,
So it's been a long time waiting for at least a November win, but we haven't gone bowling since even longer. So hopefully that'll all turn around this year. We're 2 wins away. We got IU, Northwestern, Iowa. Iowa's probably gonna be a loss now, and Northwestern and
Yeah.
IU are gonna be a tough battle. But I just want to see this team go bowling. But this isn't a Purdue podcast, and I know you don't give a
yeah. Speaking of Iowa, I really don't want to talk about it, but for you fans out there, I'm an Ohio State fan. It did not go well yesterday. Barrett threw 4 picks, and
my favorite thing on Twitter. I know I wasn't gonna bash you, but my favorite thing on Twitter was people putting "Rip JT Barrett's Heisman hopes" from October 28th to November 5th.
Yeah, he looked great against Penn State, and he was back in the Heisman race, and now basically literally threw himself
Into
out
the
of
fire.
it. Our good friend Mark, I know you know.
Yeah,
obviously.
I couldn't bear it.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
sent that to you too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was not a good day for me yesterday, being an Ohio State fan. But as we're not a college football podcast, we are a Pacers
were.
podcast, obviously, and we're here to talk some Pacers. Pacers have been looking surprisingly well. We predicted these games last week. We're gonna start off by recapping some of the games, then previewing this week's slate of games, starting with today against the Knicks. But first, let's recap some games. How about the game against the Spurs?
I would just like to say I called it.
Yeah, if we go back on our audio, which we will have up, we are having currently issues with SoundCloud and storage and stuff like that being a pain.
It's growing problems, growing
Yeah,
pains.
we will have those up. We'll have last week's episode up for you, hopefully very shortly. But yeah, in last week's episode, you predicted it, Dylan. You predicted an upset, and thanks to a heroic
The step back heard around the
3-point
world.
the step back heard around the world. Just an absolute heroic 3-pointer from Oladipo. The Pacers were able to get it done.
And he also claimed the city of Indianapolis in that game. And
Yeah, he's like, "This is my city," and apparently that's been starting to go around on shirts and
yeah,
stuff.
I saw it
and
on a couple Twitter accounts.
starting to trademark that. So I know we keep tooting Victor Oladipo's horn, but
I mean, for righteous reasons. I mean, for all the right reasons. He's been our catalyst for this offense for this winning streak that we had, like the mini winning streak we had. Scoring 23 with no bigger than that 3 that sealed the deal against the Spurs.
when he took that, I was like, no, 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 yes,
But
because it was a bad. Honestly, it was a bad shot.
yeah,
And I don't think we needed a 3. I think we were only down by 2 or something. So we really didn't need a 3. But who's to question the heroics of Victor Oladipo
yeah.
at this point?
No one. He's already made more game winners than Paul George has in his career in Indianapolis. So
Playing better than Paul George, but still. So to recap this game, Domantas Sabonis, still, now that Miles Turner is back, he's probably going to be a reduced role, but still going to be an important factor off the bench.
they said at some point they want to put him at power forward and try to work Sabonis and Turner.
See,
And
the
then
problem
I
I
guess,
have with that
and then you put
is-
that at 3.
I don't know. That'd be
Interesting.
very interesting to see how that would, because Thad is playing pretty well.
Thad is playing amazing.
We're gonna get to the game against the Cavs in a second, but he was our leading scorer in that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Victor Oladipo. What can you say about the man?
Yeah.
We've
We've already said a lot of it.
yeah,
so.
just crazy stuff from Victor, and he led us to a surprising victory against the Spurs. I know you called it. I personally didn't think it happened. Well, the Spurs are still without Kawhi, so I don't know how long they're going to be expected to be out with him. But
I think it's not supposed to be too much longer. I think he's only got an ankle tweak or something.
But I remember the last video that I saw, like, I think it was about a week, maybe a week and a half ago. He was getting on the team plane, I think for this road trip or something. And he was, like, struggling to get up the plane stairs or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Greg Popovich probably won't tell us much about it.
He never does.
Because, I mean, you're not going to get anything from Greg Popovich.
No, not in the slightest.
Yeah, just Sabonis.
Unless you're a ref.
We're going to get into this game a little bit more because Sabonis, he had 22 points and 12 boards with another double-double.
Another perfect shooting performance,
perfect shooting performance. He doesn't take – it seems like he doesn't take bad shots at all. Sabonis is settling into his role.
He's very epitome of efficiency.
Settling into his role with the Pacers, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, if you're going 9 for 9 on a double-double, you got to know something. You're doing something right, and he's doing a lot of things right. Finishing with plus 22, plus or minus. I know, I love plus or minus. You probably all hate me for keep mentioning it, but he was just playing fantastic. At this point, he was still going perfect. I think he only had missed one shot up to this game. I'm not quite sure if that's accurate. I know it's like only a couple. Like he was shooting like 70% or 80% from the field, even knocking down a 3 against the Spurs. But I'm just gonna like bring up what I'm going to mention early. I think Darren Collison's struggling a little bit. He was all right in this game. He wasn't dominant, only 8 points and 6 assists on 4 for 10 shooting. He's been struggling shooting to this point. I know there's been some, like he's averaging his field goal percentage is lower than his average last year. So once that comes up a little bit, it'll help in the long run. I know specifically for the Sixers game, he was I'm going to pinpoint one of the reasons we lost to him scoring 0 points on starting. But we'll get to that game later. Bojan, since from this game forward, has been playing very decent, at least offensively.
Like ever since we, since we got on his
case
last week. I mean, he's been shooting it well, shooting the 3-ball really well.
Yeah. 3 for 5 against the Spurs. 15
points. I mean, that's about all you can really ask for is just consistency, and that's what he's been providing these past couple weeks.
Stevenson still struggled.
Yeah. I'm gonna dive into that real quick. I know we got on some Bogdanovich's case last week. I'm gonna get on Lance Stevenson. Lance, it's time. You can't. I love you as a player, and I love you as his personality is just great and everything. But and bottom line, you have to play good basketball, and he's not.
Yeah,
it's just plain and simple.
We're getting bad, Lance.
Yeah, I remember I was looking up before the CSL show on Thursday. He's shooting 25% this season.
Yeah, that's no bueno.
It's really bad, Lance. It's time to stop. Maybe goofing around a little bit. I
don't think he's goofing around.
Well, I mean, you see I don't want to call. We'll get into the call a little bit when we recap the Cavs game, but that hit against LeBron. I know those two have kind of like a personal history, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's trying to do too much, if you ask me.
Yeah.
He's shooting I think he's trying to take too many threes. He thinks he can hit them, but he's just not that great of a three-point shooter.
Yeah, he's been working on it, but
I understand
quantity's not quality.
He has to perform better, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Because we need that spark off the bench. And honestly, I think we've been leaning kind of on our starters
a lot
this year. Our bench has not been what I thought it would be.
Yeah, we said this year would be maybe our best bench we've had. Our really only productive player off the bench has been Corey Joseph. Consistently, at least.
Yeah.
And Al Jefferson.
TJ Lee's
I never thought I would say that.
Get into. I mean, he's still a rookie, so you can't put too much blame on him.
And now he's injured with an ankle. He's out for the next game, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that I'm hope it's not a severe ankle sprain.
They
or
said it was a
anything.
couple days.
It's not.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's good. Well, with Miles coming back, hopefully we may move Sabonis to the bench or something to get some production off that bench.
Yeah.
We'll see how this game goes.
And then when we get GR back,
Yeah.
hopefully that'll help booster the bench production as well.
Maybe start him and move Bojan to the bench. Who knows? We'll see how coach.
That's for the January Pacers, not the November Pacers.
Credit to the Pacers though. Again, in this game and in this kind of like mini win streak we've been talking about, shooting 47%, 45 from three.
Yeah.
In the past couple stretch games, the Pacers have been lighting it up from three, and that's what we talked about a little last week. We said this team kind of needed to get it going from three, and they have. So it's nice to see this team shooting well from three. All right, we are going to move on to the next game that the Pacers played on their schedule, and Sacramento, yeah.
Halloween.
That game was a pretty much dominant game all game around. Pacers led from the opening tip and did not look back, which this was kind of the game you wanted to see from the Pacers against a team. No offense to Sacramento. I mean, you predicted them.
At the beginning of the year, a lot of things have changed since the beginning of the year, in my defense. We all thought Boston was going to contend for the top seed. Now that's gone, but now they're... No, never mind.
I was about to say...
I was going to say Gordon Hayward was not injured at the beginning of the year. And let's just... It was the beginning of the year in prediction. Lay off of me a little bit. I mean, we've all had our mistakes. What?
I know we're a Pacers podcast, but breaking news, if you have Leonard Fournette in your fantasy lineup, bench him. He is not playing today, which I need to do apparently.
Yeah.
Because I have him starting in our Yahoo League.
No, start him.
No.
I started Kelvin Benjamin. It's only fair to start someone who's inactive too.
No, I knew before, so I'm gonna edit my lineup accordingly. All right.
I didn't know until the day or the minutes leading up to the game that Kelvin Benjamin wasn't playing. All right, I saw it on an Instagram live story. God dang it.
All right, well, back to the Pacers game against the Sacramento Kings. Won 101-83.
The Pacers were the scariest costume the Kings have seen all Halloween.
And
I'm here all day, folks.
There's the joke of the day from Dylan.
Yeah.
But
if you call that a joke, I'm not sure.
This was a 101-83?
Yep.
Yeah, 83 victory for the Pacers. As I said, they led from, seems like the opening tip. I don't think they ever trailed in this game. And just an overall dominant game from the Pacers, who I think played a complete game.
Which I've not seen from the Pacers in a long time.
Personally. Yeah,
I've never seen us pull away and just never look back in a while.
You kind of think that, I know it's against the Kings and they're not that great of a team, but
Zach Ertz is out, by the way.
Is
I
out?
know we're just doing like fantasy things. Yeah, Zach Ertz is out for the game.
Okay. Well, this is turning into a fantasy football podcast today.
Yeah, you need our fantasy football advice. Tune in every week. Yeah.
But yeah, back to this game against Sacramento. They played a complete game. As I said, the Sacramento, who is struggling mightily this season.
Yeah.
You kind of don't want. I'd like to see more consistency, like play a complete game against a good team too.
And then we did against Cleveland.
Yeah, well, Cleveland, I guess.
And then we cut some slack. I mean, we were on a road trip from Cleveland to Philly. I mean, it was almost a back-to-back.
Yeah,
it was Wednesday, travel day, Thursday, and Friday we played. But back to the Kings.
In this game against the Kings, they played well.
Yeah.
Just no one really took to the dominant scoring load. I remember, Victor, again, with another 20-point performance. And quick to mention, he won Eastern Conference Player of the Week.
Victor didn't score 20. He scored 14.
Oh, I'm looking at the Spurs game. I'm sorry. Still looking at the Spurs game.
Another thing scarier than the Pacers for the Kings was their three-point shooting. 14.3% from three-point range. 2 for 14.
Yeah.
Let's just let that sink in a little bit. The only bright spot for the Kings, who I actually liked in the draft, was De'Aaron Fox. That guy is really a burst of speed just whenever. He was the game score leading scorer with 18. But he looks really good. I liked him coming out of the draft, and he's proven himself quite the point guard so far. Though no one's taken the Rookie of the Year away from Ben Simmons right now.
No, not when he's throwing out triple doubles like that.
You hear that, Lonzo fans? That's right. Ben Simmons is winning the Rookie of the Year.
Don't speak too loudly. LeVar may hear you.
Yeah, LeVar, come at us. I don't care. That'll give us some publicity. I don't.
But yeah,
the worst of ways. But
an overall complete game from the Pacers team. No one really, as I said, took the bulk of the scoring load. Bojan led the way with 17. Thad had 15. Sabonis had 12. How about 16 rebounds?
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, he's playing really well.
And then this is the first game he missed a shot in a while, so everybody was sad about that.
Yeah, Derek Collison, you mentioned again, kind of struggling. 0 of 4.
3 points, 2 assists.
Yeah. And then Oladipo, 4 of 10, so kind of if you would consider an off night for Victor. Then off the bench, a lot of people contributed. TJ had 7. We threw in Alex Poitras. I mean,
yeah, he's 2 for 2, 6 points.
Nice to see some of these young guys that we
he's
probably
a small
don't...
forward too.
Yeah,
just saying.
I thought really?
Yeah,
he's
listed as a small forward. 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 6 points. Can't be much.
The
complain about that.
The one moment that I saw from the very end of this game was when we put in Ike.
He got his first basket, and he's also the youngest player in the NBA. And Vince Carter is the oldest player in the NBA.
I know he got his first basket. Yeah, that's good for him. But did you see the massive block that he had? Oh,
I don't. By the way, I'm turning this into a rant on my apartment complex at the Haven Apartments. Why do I not get the Pacers games? I have Fox Sports Midwest, but apparently Fox Sports Midwest does not include Fox Sports Indiana. Instead, when I try to watch the game, I get this crappy hockey game in place of my Pacers basketball that I want to watch so dearly. So if I am informed about some of these games and what went on, and that's why I do not have the capability of watching the games. I'm not paying for League Pass, which is like $10 a month.
Yeah,
that's because I should have it in the first place. But that is why I do not have. Yes, turn me down. That is why I do not know some of the specifics. I only get what I get is from highlights off of the Twitter and websites and stuff. I don't get to see the live games, which sucks, seeing as I'm a host for a Pacers podcast. But
I mean,
I digress.
Maybe could you stream it on your laptop or something? I don't know how well you could. I don't
know if it's on the Hulu, because I know if you get Spotify Student Premium, you get Hulu now for free. I don't know if Fox Sports Indiana is on Hulu or not, but
I have no idea.
Anything to stream it costs money now because it's the NBA.
Because we're in the business of making money, unfortunately, nowadays.
We're in the business of charging monthly fees for regularly serviceable items. I'm talking to you, Adobe.
You could probably rant about the Haven and all that all day.
Yeah.
But we have more Pacers basketball to talk about, not talk to.
Talking to you, Pacers.
Yeah. I mean, if one of them would love to give us a follow on Twitter, that'd be a huge
I'm already
thing.
followed by the Pacers on Twitter. Are you?
Well, aren't you Mr. Fancy?
Yeah.
All right. So the next game on the Pacers schedule was against Cleveland, and we both predicted a loss. So, and the Pacers went out and proved us wrong.
Yeah.
And this was on the second night of a back-to-back too.
That was the impressive part.
Yeah. So it was at Cleveland against LeBron
after their team-only meeting.
Oh, whoops, my fault.
Silence yourself and put it. No,
but yeah, the only Cavalier player that showed up was obviously LeBron. Really,
LeBron's the only Cav player to show up all season.
I mean, you have D Rose, who contributed with 19 points in this
Love
game.
With 13.
And, Kevin Love, but you want more than 13 points out of Kevin Love.
Yeah.
Who just Victor? It seemed like he was going toe-to-toe with LeBron all night, and also
so was
Thad.
Lance was going toe-to-toe for a different reason. But.
Yeah, for those of you who did not see or have not seen it on social media.
I haven't, so I'm watching the recap on SCU.
He went...
Was that it?
Yeah. he went for the ball apparently.
Oh, come on. I'm seeing this for the first time. That's LeBron acting out of his
Well,
behind.
LeBron has a history of doing a good acting job. So, I mean,
that's seriously
they
what it
did rule
was?
that a flagrant.
That was a flagrant?
Yeah, they ruled it a flagrant one.
Oh, my God.
So,
He hit more of the basketball than LeBron's balls.
yeah,
Come
for
on.
those of you who still haven't seen it, we can maybe post a video of it on our Twitter or something.
Jesus.
He was going for the ball. Apparently, I think LeBron moved it or something, and he basically bagged LeBron. And so, I mean,
No, like, I know we don't have a camera here, but it's like, that was all it was, and LeBron acted like he got a cannonball straight to the cannonballs.
well, can we talk about the game for a second?
Yeah.
Because
What the? Oh, Tristan. That's when Tristan Thompson like injured his ankle. Okay.
yeah, this was a huge game for Thad Young, and also Darius Collison. This was a game he stepped up in. He had 25 and 8 assists. So bonus with another double-double.
Yep.
Bojan scored
Waters
17, 3 of 4 from 3. And the Pacers starters just were...
It's good to see all the stars in plus or minus,
Yeah.
and plus and the plus or minus, and the bench too. We had no one in the negatives. That's
Lance
incredible.
got a +1.
Yeah,
maybe
but still, we
for-
had no one in the negatives.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it was a great game for the Pacers to see.
61% from 3.
That's what I was about to mention. Is how about that 3-point percentage? And we 54% from the
Yeah.
field. This Pacers offense has looking really well.
Yeah.
Or looking really well. I'm like,
Another thing to note in the box score, Pacers didn't score less than 30 points in each quarter.
oh wow, that is, yeah.
We scored 30, 32, 30, 32. Talk about consistency.
I mean, yeah, gotta love consistency. Excuse me. But
Corey Joseph, another good game.
Darren Collison only missed one shot. Went
Yeah.
9 of 10. I remember he was watching that game. He was driving to the rack. And
Victor, man, 9 for 20.
what?
Victor was 9 for 20.
I mean,
Shoot your shot, man.
yeah, but 5 of 7 from 3.
Yeah.
So he's lighting it up like he always has.
Well,
Could probably, well, always has this season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll
so-
just give you
And it was good to see this Pacers team beat a Cavs team, which we expected them to probably lose.
Yeah.
So,
We dropped him to 3 and 5.
and this was
as of this game, but 9.
another rare. Well, not rare. It's not rare this season, but
Didn't the Knicks beat the Cavs the next night or something?
the Cavs this season have lost to, I believe, the Knicks.
And then they beat
Magic.
somebody with the LeBron 57 points.
Yeah, they absolutely dismantled Washington.
That's right. And then John Wall had like shoulder soreness.
Yeah. So Pacers beat the Cavs. I think these teams play 3 more times I believe we played the Cavs 3 times since it's a division.
4.
Well, we already played them once.
Yeah, 3 more times.
So 3 more times. Yeah. And so yeah, it was a great game for the Cavs, or for the Pacers to beat a team like the Cavs. Seemed kind of, and I remember Quinn Buckner at the very end this game was kind of a sweet one because of how the Cavs swept us in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of good to get revenge, don't you think?
Yeah, it's always good to beat the Cavs. I mean, they're kind of our rival in the league so far. I mean, everybody's the rival of the Cavaliers after what they've done to the Eastern Conference the last couple years. But it's always good to get a win against a team that's highly regarded as probably the best in the East, even though if they're not playing like it right now. But it just shows, like, I've not seen the Pacers as of this game compete so well and so hard and so consistently over a beginning of stretch. I don't know if it's just someone's pushing the effort. Like, I think Thad is pushing this team as much as he can. I don't know if McMillan is worthy of some praise. I know on Twitter I've said maybe that McMillan deserves some of the credit for the start.
I mean, you have to give him some credit. I mean, he is the head coach.
Yeah. And I don't know. We've never seen this kind of thing out of the Pacers before, and maybe it's because of PG. Maybe PG just kind of drug this team down a little bit, and we
Who
just
knows?
never know.
So yeah, it's. I remember we were talking about it probably a couple weeks ago, but just the fight that this team shows. It's something we haven't seen. And
I think it all starts with Thad, really.
he's that veteran on the
spark plug.
I guess, he is the veteran on the Pacers right now.
Well, I mean, Jefferson's still.
Yeah. Him and Big Al, but, I mean, if you're talking about starter-wise, I mean,
35.
He's the veteran on this team.
And then Damian, who's like the fourth oldest team.
Wilkins, my God. But, Thad's seems like the kind of gel that
is keeping this team
together.
Yeah.
And you have the dynamic scoring of Victor Oladipo. Sabonis is playing really well. So, great to see this Pacers team get a win against very tough competition. I mean, the Cavs, they're not playing well, but still, anytime you're playing against LeBron, I mean, it's no easy task.
Yeah.
So, great to see the Pacers get a win there. All right, next game we're going to recap is a game that happened on Friday that kind of halted this Pacers 3-game win streak. Thank you, J.J. Redick.
No, thank you, Pacers defense, for not switching off on J.J. Redick multiple times.
No, I mean, J.J. but it's not switching off, but J.J. Redick was hitting the shots.
I'm also going to watch the recap because I haven't watched the recap for this game yet. So,
but
give me a minute 48, then I'll be ready to talk.
But so the Pacers traveled to Philadelphia to face Ben Simmons and the Philadelphia 76ers, and obviously
the return game from Miles Turner.
Trust the process.
Miles Turner ended Dario Saric's life in this game.
Yeah. This was Miles Turner's first game back. Miles was battling a concussion, as we've talked about, and Coach Nate McMillan ended up having him come off the bench, but unfortunately, he had to play some bit more minutes than he wanted because of Sabonis, I think, fouled out.
Yeah.
Like
he had
5 or 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So, Dylan is just watching the recap over there.
You know, I already TJ Leaf on the brick. Oh, and a white man can't dunk.
But this was a Pacers loss, 121-110. The Pacers made it extremely competitive all game.
Till third quarter.
Well, no, it was a close. The Pacers had the lead in I think it was like a 105-104 game because I actually get to watch the games.
Lucky.
Yeah, I was watching this after I got off work. I was able to watch the fourth quarter.
Here it is, 106-105, 4 minutes left.
Yeah, the Pacers had the lead. Then J.J. Redick, who just absolutely has a barrage of threes.
Don't spoil it.
You may get to see the 3-pointer.
I just saw the Robert Covington 3 that took the lead, 110-108.
You may see the 3 over Miles Turner here in a second, which is...
Nope, they cut it off, the Covington.
Well, who knows. But I think it may have been...
Redick's huge night leads to the 76ers win.
But we're going to recap this game real quick. Obviously, huge night from J.J. Redick. Huge night from Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons had another triple-double. And so...
He's just nailing. Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was kind of the...
That buzzer beater.
Yeah, that was kind of the
prayer being answered.
Nail in the coffin for the Pacers. As
hopefully that's how I shoot tonight.
They had a good... they played a good game, but J.J. Redick was just on fire. He had 31 points. He was... Let me pull up the box score real quick.
He was tied for leading scorer with Victor.
Yeah. J.J. Redick had 31 points, 8 of 12 from 3.
Yeah.
Including just like 4 or 5 threes and just the latter of the fourth quarter, which sealed the deal. Robert Covington played well, had 22. Joel had 18. Dario had 15. And Ben Simmons had another triple-double. Didn't shoot the ball really well, but 14 points, 11 boards, and 11 assists.
Ben Simmons' game is to get to the basket, so that's not too surprising.
And this team shot 36 threes, made 18 of them, and they shot 50%. Pacers, gave a good fight. The
bench was more productive than the starters.
Yeah, this was another
good
game for Darren Collison. Only 2 points, 5 assists.
Yeah.
Just got to step it up a little bit. Miles Turner played
Yeah.
24 minutes coming off the bench. Did not shoot the ball well at all. But granted, it's his first game back. He's not expected to
shoot lights out after a concussion.
Shoot lights out and be at full game speed just yet. He saw that he will be starting today, though, versus the Knicks, which we'll get in that game here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Rip Porzingis.
Lance had 6 points, 3 of 5 shooting. I want to see Lance be more aggressive.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of maybe a bad thing to say because he may get too aggressive.
Yeah.
But
you take everything Lance does with a grain of salt, and sometimes a bigger grain of salt.
Bojan had a good game, had 21 points, 8 of 14. Zad had 7 of 14. This team, I mean, Sixers are a pretty good team.
Yeah, it's nothing to be mad about.
It's nothing to be too ashamed about.
Their lineup is young and explosive, and we're still trying to figure out, or we're still trying to get our grasp on what works, what doesn't. So, I mean, we all would have liked to have seen a win streak, but I mean, in reality, we'll take a 3-game winning streak and then lose another game on a back-to-back after probably pouring out a lot of our energy against Cleveland. But
yeah,
we'll see if it kind of rebounds against New York Knicks, which we'll recap here in a second. But nothing to be too ashamed of. The Sixers are a great team. They'll probably make the playoffs. I imagine the Pacers might too at this point, but it's probably still too early to say. But it was good we didn't give up.
Yeah,
we were in it with 4 minutes left, and then JJ Redick went Super Saiyan, and then took over. Yeah, I don't watch Dragon Ball Z, by the way, just so don't spam me with anything.
No, but one thing I really don't get, I want to get your thoughts on real quick. I've been noticing the box score. Joe Young's been getting minutes, which
it's gonna be because Corey Joseph takes up Darren Collison. I think someone's gonna cover for Victor because he's playing 37 minutes, and it's not gonna be Lance. I don't know. Maybe they get like another player, but Joe Young has been getting minutes since San Antonio, and he's not real done much with his minutes. I've been reading recaps because I can't watch the games, but I've been reading recaps from different Pacers fan websites, and they've been saying that Joe Young has just been kind of on the floor. He's not been real productive in any kind of point in the game. He's just been kind of there, and he's not real proved himself worthy of these minutes, but he still keeps getting them. Maybe McMillan just wants to get something going for Joe Young so he has more options off the bench, so we don't have to rely heavily on Darren Collison, Victor Oladipo, and Joseph and Stevenson, so we can get someone who can rotate in case someone gets in foul trouble. Which, by the way, Sabonis did foul out. So
and that was why we didn't want Miles Turner to play 24 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe we only wanted him to play about 20.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that. But when
Sabonis
fouls out, it's
no
I was watching some of the calls. The refs in this game were absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
What's new? The calls. There was, I think, a screen or something, and the player was right here, just going right into Sabonis, and Sabonis was just backing up. The ref called a foul on Sabonis, and I was like, and Quinn Buckner was ripping the refs too, which Quinn Buckner, as I've said, is probably one of my favorite color commentators.
He's my favorite
because he gets into it and he doesn't hold back on his feelings.
But sorry, Kristen Airy, my favorite play-by-play is always gonna be Mike Breen because no one can do the bang.
Yeah, but this Pacers team, I mean, no shame losing against a good Philadelphia team who's played really well this season. They're 5-4. We're 5-4. No shame. And you had those 3 games where they won, and so kind of a maybe come down to earth moment a little bit. But the Pacers hopefully get an easy game. I'm not gonna. We'll say it's an easy game. It's Kristaps, and that transitions us into. We're going to start to preview this week's games. The Pacers play the Knicks tonight, I believe.
Yep, 7 o'clock.
It's at 7:30 in Madison. Is it Madison Square Garden? Okay, yeah. So
it's been Madison Square Garden for like the longest time.
No, I couldn't remember if it was in New York or if it was at Baker's Life.
I was like, how did you forget the Nuggets arena or the Pacers?
I know what the arena is called. I just couldn't remember if it was at home or away. The Pacers play the Knicks, who have not looked good. this season.
No, they're still 4-4.
They're 4-4, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you have to deal with Kristaps. I think that's personally all that you probably have to really deal with. I mean, you got Enes Kanter, who came over in that trade for Carmelo.
He's their power forward.
TJ Leaf has been ruled out, so maybe
so the way the scoring lines up for the Knicks right now, Porzingis obviously averaging 29 per game. Ridiculous start. Tim Hardaway is second on the team with 16.3.
I forgot about Tim Hardaway.
Then it goes down to Enes Kanter with 14.1, and then Courtney Lee rounds up the double digits with 10.4.
We're a 1.5 point underdog.
I mean, that's probably Kristaps influencing that a lot, but
I mean, yes, you have Kristaps, but I'm not going to say, I don't think anyone can consistently score on that team. Tim Hardaway can light it up some nights, so Oladipo may have his hands full, but...
Well, I mean, Oladipo's played against a lot of good shooting guards to this point, so I think he'll be fine.
Miles Turner...
Jared Jack is on this team. Sorry.
This is going to be his first game back, like in the starting role. So
are they relegating Sabonis to the bench, or are they starting?
I'm not 100% sure what the lineup is going to be. Then maybe.
Here, look, I'll read the preview and see if they say anything.
I don't know what the lineup exactly will be, but Miles Turner is going to have his hands full. And in his first game back, he even said that. Like, he hasn't played basketball since, because he had that concussion. You really can't do much besides, like, sleep and eat. So, oh, excuse me. But it's going to be a tough task going up against Kristaps. I don't think we put Thad on Kristaps. I mean, Thad's a really good defender, but, I mean...
No, Miles will matches up with him perfectly.
We need
and then put
that size.
On Enes Kanter, which... It's a little bit of a mismatch. I think Enes Kanter has more muscle than Thaddeus right now, but I think he should be able to handle him well.
Is Enes Kanter starting at center?
Just power forward.
Oh, they have Enes Kanter at power forward and Kristaps at... Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because Kristaps is just...
And Domas is starting on the second unit, by the way.
Okay. So it'll be our typical Collis and Oladipo.
Bojan, Thad, Miles, and then Corey. I'm assuming, Domas will be first sixth man. Then Corey, then Lance, then TJ. No, TJ's out.
TJ's out, so maybe throw in Al Jefferson.
Yeah, Al Jefferson's going to get more minutes.
So, I think...
And then maybe even Poitras or I don't know how to say, Ike.
Yeah, I think it's Ike, but I mean, we're just going to call him Ike.
Yeah.
Be like Ike. So, predictions on this game, you think the Pacers...
we'll win. I think we win single digits. A single-digit win, but I think we pull away in the third quarter.
I think Pacers will be fine. As I said, Kristaps.
But I still think Kristaps gets 30.
Oh yeah, I think Kristaps will get his. That's going to be hard to stop Kristaps because Kristaps can shoot over anyone in this league. I mean, you can get a hand up in his face, but
there's a reason he's called the unicorn.
Yeah, he can just shoot over the top of anyone. Kristaps will get his. Hopefully, we contain Tim Hardaway and some of the other. Pieces that they have because they can go off if you overlook those guys. Courtney Lee,
the Cavs did.
Is a good shooter. Tim Hardaway can light it up for 30 any night if he chooses to. So gotta take care of everyone and do your job on defense. But I think the Pacers pull away in this game. I think this is another great night for Victor. Sabonis, I think, will contribute well off the bench. It'll finally give this bench someone they can go to off the bench.
It gives Corey Joseph some help, too.
Yeah.
Because he's been struggling finding offense with just him and Lance and Al Jefferson and everybody around. It gives him a solid go-to target if he gets in any trouble, which I think benefits us as better as a whole. I mean, it's always better to have someone enter the starting lineup and bump somebody down. It just bumps production down. So.
And so, yeah, we both predict the Pacers win, and hopefully that'll bump the Pacers to 6. Excuse me, I'm drinking soda and kind of make me a bit belchy. But 6-4. Shut up! Don't give me that look. All right. Hopefully this will move the Pacers to 6-4 on the season. So the next game we're going to talk about is on Tuesday
at home.
At home. Thank you. not going to be an easy task for Thad and
Miles.
Miles, because they have by far the best front court coming in Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins. When the Pelicans visit Baker's Life Fieldhouse, Pelicans, I don't exactly know what their record is on the season, but I know Boogie and Anthony Davis, they're getting theirs.
They're 5-5.
They're 5-5. Okay, so basically playing
everybody's like 5-5 right now.
Yeah, 5 it's been a weird NBA season so far. No one. Detroit, who is we'll get into in a second,
and
7-3.
Boston 7-2,
and Orlando.
Yeah.
We mentioned a little bit on the NBA podcast yesterday.
Come back.
Yeah. That was one of the things we talked about is how bad, or how I feel great for Frank Vogel. I mean, great to see him succeed. It's unfortunate the Pacers let him go.
Yeah.
So the Pacers, as we talked about, will move on to face. What do you?
I'm just making sure it's not the soccer guys.
Oh, but yeah, they will be playing the Pelicans. I mean, this is gonna be.
Yeah, if you thought the Knicks were top-heavy scoring, this one's even worse. Boogie leads the scoring points per game with 28.6, and then Anthony Davis rounds out the two 20-point scorers on the team with 27.4. Then it goes all the way down to Drew Holiday with 13.5, and Etwan Moore, my boy, with 10.2. And then that's all the double-digit scoring they have on the team.
Yeah, so
4 players.
I mean, I think the Pacers can maybe win this game.
It's at home. I think we give us a good chance. It's going to be a struggle containing Boogie and Davis.
Yeah.
I think Miles can hold his own against Anthony Davis. Thad will struggle a little bit. Boogie's way bigger than Thad.
Do they have Boogie at the power forward?
Yeah, that's what they do.
I thought they have Boogie at the center. And
Anthony Davis at the power forward, then Boogie at center. My bad.
So Miles will be on Boogie, and Thad will be on Anthony Davis.
Still, there's a mismatch on power forward already.
Yeah, so
they have a mismatch at power forward anywhere they go, really.
I'm gonna take this back to the Knicks game. They have those guys. They have those 2 guys who could probably get you maybe 50 points, probably combined, maybe 55 if they want to, maybe 60. Even 60. But 60 points is not going to win you a basketball game.
No. You got to find production.
You got to have production from other guys. Drew Holiday's a quality point guard in this league. He's nothing to he's not an all-star caliber, but I mean he's a quality. You got Etwan Moore who can shoot the 3. I know you're huge on him for Purdue.
I just remember the Ohio State game we dropped 35, I think, on you in Mackey Arena, but no big deal.
Way to live in the past. But
Purdue fans live in the past. That's all we have.
But yeah, they got Etwan and Solo.
Nope.
They don't have Solomon Hill? Really? I thought he was on their bench or something.
Mm-mm.
What?
It's Jameer Nelson, Ian Clark, Tony Allen, Dante Cunningham, Darius Miller, Charles Cook, Jack Diallo, Josh Smith, and Jalen Jones.
Oh. Hey, we'll get to see our boy Josh Smith again.
Yeah, and Jordan Crawford.
I forgot about Tony Allen. Oh, crap.
Mm-hmm.
Victor's going to have his hands full then.
I don't know if he's starting.
Is he starting?
I'll look up the depth chart.
Okay. Because if he is...
it's either that or Lance. I would love to see Lance on Tony Allen.
Nope,
they're starting Etwan Moore.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Then it's Ian Clark. Then it's Tony Allen. According to ESPN's depth chart.
You're not giving first team all defense minutes.
Nope.
Okay. But okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to predict.
Solomon Hill's 3rd on the rotation in small forward.
Told you he was on the
team. But he has no minutes.
I mean,
he's injured, I think.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I'm going to predict a Pacers win because Boogie and Brow, they're going to get theirs, obviously. But I don't see where else the scoring comes from.
He has not played any minutes so far this year.
I think Victor will drop probably 25. Maybe Miles he may struggle against Boogie. But this got to be a game where Bojan plays well, which he has recently. So we'll see. Darren Collison, you got to get out of this high-low
yeah, we need more
scoring that you're in.
Out of you, bud.
And Lance our bench has got to be better. I think the key is going to be our second unit.
Yeah.
I mean,
TJ Leaf has got to get some offensive firepower going. He's been kind of muddling around 7, 8 points. I would like to see him get a little bit break into double digits just to give us that boost. But with Domas on the bench, I think that helps him a lot because it lets him space out a little bit more instead of having to be stuck in the middle with Al Jefferson. But I think it'll help him in the long run.
Yeah. And as we said, he's a rookie. We don't expect too much from him. I mean,
no.
So
he wasn't like a top 10 pick, so it's not like we're expecting immediate production out of him.
So
we'll take what we can get.
Prediction? Do you think we get it done?
I think we win. I think this will be a comfortable win. I think we win 120 to 108. And radio silence from Cody.
Breaking news: we are at court. We are at the rec again for Weeba. So
really,
Caleb just messaged us. So
okay.
So yeah.
Also, Leonard Fournette's benched for missing team photo, among other reasons.
Oh, my God. Leonard, why? Why? Come on.
That's funny.
Oh, my God.
Mr. The NFL's easy.
All right. Well, sorry I had to take a break from that because that was important because we have a basketball game that Dylan and I are in.
Hopefully we won't get our asses kicked.
Yeah, hopefully not. Whoops. All right. Last game that we are going to preview is we got two more. Is Wednesday in Detroit against the 7-3 currently Detroit Pistons, who beat the Warriors.
What's more surprising, that they're 7-3 or that Drummond's shooting 70% from the free throw line?
Yeah, I looked at that and I about just lost my mind.
Yeah,
because people are like, oh, foul Andre Drummond. You can't do that now, or obviously early on in the season, because he's shooting, I believe, last night or a game ago or whatever, he shot like 14 of 14 from the free throw line. Just, excuse me again. Just absolutely ridiculous. He's finding his stroke and whatever, so this will be a tough game for the Pacers, as we said. The Pistons are 7-3. Coming off the trade for Avery Bradley looks pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
If you ask me, they got Reggie Jackson playing. Well, don't know how much longer he'll be on the team if that trade goes through for Bledsoe. That's a whole nother fiasco.
Yeah.
So they got guys like Tobias Harris, and they're just playing good team basketball right now. So this be a struggle for the Pacers, don't you think? Or maybe?
I don't know. I mean, the Pistons have surprised everybody so far.
What?
Okay, we got some hecklers behind us. I mean, I would have thought coming into the season this would have been a win. I didn't expect the Pistons to be playing this well. I mean, they've gotten incredible production out of Tobias Harris, Avery Bradley. Like you said, Avery Bradley trade is looking very, very nice for them so far. And even Andre Drummond, who's been very consistent on the stripe, that's even more surprising than anything else we've mentioned. But yeah, they've been playing great team ball. They defeated the Warriors in Oakland, which is nothing to laugh at.
No, but it's not.
So I mean, we have to go to Detroit in their new arena. I'm reluctant to say we win this game, but I don't think we win this game.
Yeah, they're just 7-3 and playing really good basketball. So it's gonna be a very big struggle. They overall, their leading scorer is Tobias Harris. He's averaged about 20 a game.
Yeah.
So
19.7 to be exact.
Yeah, round up. Come on, round up to 20. Andre Drummond's playing pretty well. They're averaging about 105 points per game. Points allowed 101. So I don't know. I think this will be a very interesting game. It'll be a battle all night between, I think, Andre Drummond and Miles Turner.
Yeah, that's going to be one heck of a battle.
So, I mean, and we'll see what the Pistons do. If you're asking me, I don't think they're going to keep this up. No offense to Detroit. I just think it's a hot start that'll eventually calm down. So, obviously, Miles is going to have his hands full on the boards. You've got to box out Andre Drummond.
Mm-hmm.
Box out, and maybe even get some help with him because he will clean the glass all night. Gosh, I'm got that little cough in my system right now. But you know what? I don't think it'd call it an upset if the Pacers. I mean, we're probably not the favorites.
Standing wise, it would be classified as an upset, but
I think the Pacers and
you call it an
we're
upset?
kind of on the same level, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I know the record doesn't show it, but they've beaten. I'm looking at their wins. Is ridiculous. They beat the Timberwolves. They beat the Clippers. Beat the Warriors. Beat Milwaukee.
And then they lost to Philly, Washington, and Los Angeles, of all teams.
So, I mean, yeah, the one bad loss to the Lakers, but, I mean,
this team is nuts.
They're no joke early on.
Yeah, and we get them, our first two games are, like, real close to each other, too. We get them, obviously, Wednesday coming up, and then we get them Friday, November 17th, like a week after.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right.
So get familiar with this team because we're going to see them really close together. So
yeah, I think you predict hope. Unfortunately, you think we don't.
I don't think we pull it out.
Yeah, I'm going to be optimistic and hopefully.
Though it is the first game of a road trip or a mini road trip, so maybe I don't know.
Who knows? I'm going to be optimistic and say the Pacers pull it out, but it will be a no small task.
No.
For the Pacers, but hopefully this next game will be a very kind of like the Sacramento game.
Yeah.
No offense to
tune-up game for Houston.
the many Chicago fans that we have here at Ball State, and many, well,
fair weather fans. Chicago is full of fair weather fans.
Like our good friend Will, he's a Bulls fan. I mean, Zach, he's a Bulls fan. We got friends that are Bulls fans. One bright spot for the Bulls, though. How about Lauri Markkanen? I mean,
yeah.
I guess he can send a thank you letter to Bobby Portis. For knocking out Nikola Mirotic, and then he gets suspended, and so Lauri Markkanen's like, okay,
hold my beer.
Hold my beer. But yeah, the Pacers will play the Chicago Bulls in Chicago on Friday, 8 p.m. tip, and I'm hoping this is like the Sacramento game, where the Pacers start strong and never look back, because the Bulls are just, excluding Lauri, I think he's averaging like 17 a game right now.
I'll pull it up.
It's pretty impressive.
He's very impressive so far. No one thought he would come out shooting this well. He's really kind of just masked the problem a little bit for the Bulls, but they're still 2-6 with their only They beat the Magic. They're the only Magic loss they have. Wow, that says a lot.
Okay.
Lauri Markkanen is averaging 16.3, Justin Holiday is 15.6, Robin Lopez 14.8, and Denzel Valentine 10.3.
Heads up to Boomer. I worry for you, bud. Don't get beat up too bad by Robin Lopez.
I love Robin Lopez and his like the animosity they has between mascots. It's hilarious.
It really is to see, but just Boomer, if you're listening, be on the lookout, because Robin Lopez will not take too kindly to you. So what the heck?
What?
I'm looking at their schedule. They beat the Bucks earlier this season.
I mean, the Bucks have been struggling.
Yeah, I mean,
because they don't have any offense around the Greek Freak. So.
But yeah, one of their wins came against the Bucks, and the other one came against
the Magic in Atlanta.
Wait, nope, that is the preseason. I'm an idiot. Okay, never mind. But yeah, their 2 wins are against the Magic and the Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
They're 2-6 on the season. I just pulling up this article. The Bulls are gonna work Bobby Portis back into the rotation on Tuesday, so he'll be there. Probably.
Right. Careful, I don't want another Malice in the Palace, but with Chicago edition.
Yeah, we don't want another that, because then we don't want a repeat of what happened afterwards when the Pacers just went into complete
disarray.
Yeah. So this will be an easy win for the Pacers. I think they'll have no problems. Victor will, I don't even know.
Tear it apart. Justin Holiday is who they're starting. Yeah, I don't even know their rotation. Jerian Grant, Justin Holiday. They're starting Paul Zipser at small forward. So help me God, Bojan. I honestly thought we had the worst small forward rotation in the NBA.
No, that belongs to the Chicago Bulls.
Well, that's when Zach LaVine comes back. Then it gets a little better. But
yeah, but so Bojan, tear apart Paul Zipser, please.
Yeah. Robin Lopez will give Miles Turner a little bit of fits. He's very scrappy. So
he is, but I think Miles will be able to maybe pull him away from the basket.
Yeah.
A little bit. We're gonna have Thad on Laurie,
Yeah.
so that'll be a big challenge for the Rook.
Yeah, because Thad is very mobile.
Yeah. So easy win for the Pacers, we hope.
Yeah. Should.
Just don't overlook this team.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm thinking like we come after a loss to the Pistons, and then the Pacers just unleash their fury upon the Bulls.
So,
Bulls.
Rip the Bulls. But yeah, we both predict a Pacers victory. I'm hopefully a double-digit victory. I think we could win this game by double digits.
Mm-hmm.
Probably easily, if you ask me. So, just can't overlook this team. So, as we sit right now, the Pacers are currently 5-4, which we're
second in the East. We're second in the division.
Second in the division.
The Pistons.
The overall standings, the Pacers are
still
currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, there's a cluster of teams starting with Philly, starting at 5. So we're tied for 5th in the East. I mean, not bad for the Pacers early on this season.
Yeah.
We got those 2 wins against, Minnesota, San Antonio, the Cavs. We never thought we'd play well against. So we play well against good teams. So who knows? I don't know. Beginning this season when we did our first show, we thought it'd be a not that great of a season, and they proved us wrong.
Yeah.
So
it's been very exciting. We thought it would be very monotonous pace, very slow, methodical, like we've used to see from the Pacers, even though they want to run it. But no, they've actually run it, and which has been quite a pleasant surprise in my opinion. But that and Victor Oladipo's emergence has made this season quite entertaining.
Yeah. I think if he keeps this up, I think you could easily see him getting maybe 21, 22 points per game.
Easily.
And probably most improved player.
Yeah.
Because
I don't see anybody else right now.
Yeah. I know there was a article that came out earlier in the season that said Miles would be, but I mean, if Victor Oladipo is willing to take on this majority of the scoring load, Miles Turner don't
feel too bad.
Yeah, don't feel too bad. And I know Miles, he's a very unselfish player. He just does not. He'll do what he needs to do. One credit I will give to Miles Turner though, in his, let me pull it up real quick. I think it was the first game back against Philly. He had 4 blocks.
Yeah,
I think 4 blocks.
He's got to get his average back.
So, I mean, he's still that good rim protector that we all know that he is.
Yeah, smothered chicken.
So, Miles just continue to slowly work back, and Victor will take care of it.
Yeah.
I mean, and eventually, when you're back to full strength, it's
the tandem of him and Victor is going to be something formidable.
So
hopefully,
watch out, teams in the East, because I mean,
we ain't a joke.
Think we could maybe, if we continue this pace, maybe get a middle of the pack playoff seed, and who knows?
Yeah, it's still early. Let's
still
hold off
very
on the playoff
early.
talk. Yeah,
season is still very young.
I don't know what to expect out of this season. Right now, it's been completely unpredictable, which is the best thing so far. So,
because who would have thought the Orlando Magic would be like up there?
And the Cavs aren't even in the playoff picture right now.
Yeah. So I think the season ended today, they'd be like 13th.
And like Golden State would be like 6th in the West.
So it's a crazy, crazy NBA season so far. Pacers have been it's a bright spot. I know only one game over 500, but coming into the year, that's not what we expected.
Yeah. We thought it was going to be a rough end.
I know we predicted probably like a 1-7, 2-7 start or something like that. So they've been a pleasant surprise. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. Be sure to tune in next week. And as we said, we will try to work out getting our audio situation figured out with getting our show uploaded from last week. SoundCloud's being a kind of pain in the ass right now. So with just not allowing us to upload it. So we'll get that figured out and get that uploaded for you guys so you can tune in. As always, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Pacers Pride Podcast. As we will post, we started to post a lot more here in the last couple weeks. Starting to recap some of the games, some retweets from the Pacers, what Coach McMillan has to say, and I don't know what's going on out there, but yeah, we just love interacting with you guys. So ask us questions anytime on Twitter. We'll probably respond.
On the show.
We don't want, although if you're gonna do it, please don't be like the guy last week.
Oh, that was amazing. Don't be like the guy last week if you're gonna do it.
Just unfortunately, you guys can't. You have no idea what we're talking about because
that episode's not coming up. But when it is, it's a gym. It is a gym.
Probably one of our best show to date. So it was a funny episode doing our mailbag session. All right, but yeah, follow us on Twitter at Pacers Pride Podcast, and we will be back next week recapping the Pacers and any news that we got and recapping those games and talking about some more games. For my co-host Dylan Dean Hart, I'm Cody Emerson, and remember, go Pacers.